Okay, when you buy tortillas in the grocery store, whether they came from the frozen food or some that had just been delivered from a local tortilleria, your work is not completely done yet. You actually have to reheat them and reheat them in a way that's going to make them into their absolutely best expression. When you have cold tortillas, I'm going to show you what's my sort of fail-safe way of doing it. These are cold tortillas. I've pulled them all apart. These are really thick kind of ones that you could find at some of the tortillerias. So I made sure that they weren't sticking together. And now I'm going to take some paper towels and I'm going to moisten them just under water like that. Wad it up and then squeeze it out. And then lay it back out like this so that it's going to cover the tortillas. Lay them in there. Wrap them on their sides because, I mean, come on, it's like we've all had the opportunity to have the taste of a tortilla that's gotten cold. Maybe you threw it in your refrigerator and then you brought it back out and you warm it up in a dry skillet and it tastes just like cardboard. Okay, I'm going to restore them to their suppleness, to their steamy suppleness by actually injecting them with a little bit of steam from that paper towel. So slide that into a heavy bag. Don't seal that bag. Just simply fold it over because you're going to create steam in here. Put it into the microwave for 1 minute. Okay, so I'm going to set this now for 1 minute and then turn it on. And what's going to happen in here in that 1 minute time is that the steam will be created by the moist paper towel and we will have this really beautiful environment. Remember, I'm doing this at 100% right now and it's going to be a super steamy environment, and then we're going to just let it sit for a minute or so to absorb all of that steam. And to me, it's one of the absolute best ways of reheating corn tortillas. Now, probably a lot of you have taken packages from a local Mexican grocery store and just literally put it directly on the fire, or you've put it in a dry skillet to heat them up, and that's fine as long as the tortilla that you're working with is really, really fresh. But this will sort of reinvigorate some tortillas that are cold. Okay, we're coming down to the end of our minute now, and I am going to open this thing up and pull it out. But you can see it's like super steamy in there. And while that's just sitting for a minute, I'm going to talk about different vessels that you can serve them in, because probably sometime you're going to want something to serve tortillas into guests if you're making mole or maybe grilling some fish and you want to have these to pass around. Now, this sounds like the most downscale thing that you could possibly have, which is a styrofoam tortilla holder. But this is really my go-to. It traps steam in and it will make the tortillas the very, very best. This is a plain one. I think they cost 99 cents at the grocery store, the Mexican grocery store around the corner from me here. But it works really well. They also have fancy ones that have flowers on them and wicker and all that sort of stuff. But if you're just looking for something simple, it's going to be that styrofoam one. We're not even getting into the environmental issues about styrofoam and all that sort of stuff. All I can tell you is it works really well. If you go to Mexico, these are kind of my go-to to bring home. This one is made from pine needles that have been dyed a beautiful green, and these hold heat really beautifully and steaminess as well. And then you'll just want to lay a cloth in there. You don't put a cloth necessarily in the styrofoam ones. This is a simple basket that you would find in many markets in Mexico. You put a cloth in that one. This is one that's made out of palm, and it's woven out of palm. Again, it will hold a lot of heat and steaminess inside there. And then the last thing I have to show, since I know a lot of you go down to the Riviera Maya, this is the vessel that in the Yucatan Peninsula is used for holding tortillas, again with a cloth on the inside. Okay, so let's just put these into this container here, having let them sit for a minute more to absorb all of the steam. Remember, this is going to be quite hot when you bring them out. You pull off that top piece there. These will be steamy all the way to the middle here. You can see that. And I'm just going to turn them over into my hand, drop them in there, and these will hold in here really hot for 20 to 30 minutes. So this can be a real useful piece of equipment to have in your own kitchen. I hope this makes you fall in love with corn tortillas.